Che Guevara was born as Ernesto Guevara on June 14, 1928, in Rosario, Argentina. He grew up in a middle-class family. As a child, he loved books, sports, and learning about history. He also suffered from asthma, which stayed with him for life. Even though he was sick often, Ernesto was strong in mind. He read about politics, war, and famous leaders. These books made him think deeply about the world. He started caring about poor people at a young age. In 1948, he began studying medicine at the University of Buenos Aires. He wanted to help people who were sick. But soon, his life changed during a long trip across South America. The journey showed him poverty and suffering. He saw how badly poor people were treated. This made a deep impact on him and changed his goals forever. In 1951, Ernesto and his friend Alberto Granado took a motorcycle trip through South America. They traveled through Argentina, Chile, Peru, Colombia, and Venezuela. It was during this journey that Ernesto saw real poverty and injustice. He met people with no homes, no food, and no jobs. Many were sick but had no doctors. He felt shocked and angry about how unfair life was for them. This journey opened his eyes to the struggles of the poor. He started thinking that medicine was not enough to fix the deep problems in society. He believed that real change needed a political solution. His heart began to turn toward revolution. By the end of the trip, Ernesto was no longer just a medical student. He was a man searching for a way to fight injustice. He promised himself to help the poor in a bigger way. In 1955, Ernesto went to Mexico. There he met Fidel Castro, a Cuban revolutionary. Fidel and his brother Raúl were planning to fight against the Cuban dictator, Fulgencio Batista. Ernesto quickly joined their group. He became known as Che, a nickname used in Argentina. Che believed in revolution and helping the poor. His ideas matched Fidel's goals for Cuba. He trained with other rebels to prepare for a fight. He learned how to use weapons, make plans, and live a simple life in hiding. Che became one of the key leaders in the group. In 1956, the rebels sailed to Cuba on a small boat called Granma. Though many were killed, Che survived. The fight for Cuba had begun. Che and the other rebels hid in the mountains of Cuba. They used guerrilla warfare, small surprise attacks against the government army. Che was brave and smart, and he soon became a commander. He taught his fighters to read and write. He also gave free medical help to villagers. Che believed the revolution was not only about war, it was also about respect and helping the poor. After years of fighting, the rebels finally won in 1959. Batista fled the country, and Fidel Castro became the leader of Cuba. Che was seen as a hero of the revolution. He helped write new laws and lead big changes. He believed in equality and wanted a new kind of society, one without rich and poor. After the revolution, Che took on many important jobs. He helped manage the Cuban economy and led the National Bank. He also gave speeches around the world to support socialism. Che pushed for land reforms. He wanted landowners to give land to poor farmers. He believed in hard work and often worked with workers in factories and farms. However, not everything was easy. Some of Che's ideas failed. Cuba faced money problems, and some people did not agree with his strict rules. Even so, Che remained loyal to his beliefs. He kept fighting for a world where all people were treated equally. No matter how rich or poor, Che didn't want to stay only in Cuba. He believed the revolution should spread. He started traveling to other countries to help people fight against unfair governments. In 1965, Che left Cuba secretly. He went to Africa, trying to help rebels in Congo. But the mission failed. The fighters were not ready, and Che became frustrated. Still, Che did not give up. He believed revolution was the only way to bring justice. After Congo, he planned a new mission in Bolivia. He thought Bolivia was the next place where people were ready to rise and fight. He began organizing a small army there in secret. In 1966, Che arrived in Bolivia under a false name. He started training fighters in the jungle. But things were hard from the beginning. The locals were scared or not interested in revolution. Che's group had little food, little support, and many problems. The Bolivian army, with help from the U.S., found out about the rebels. They began to search for Che and his men. Many of his fighters were killed or caught. Che became sick and weak. He wrote in his diary that they were running out of time. In October 1967, Che was captured by the Bolivian army. He had fought until the end but was finally surrounded. On October 9, 1967, Che Guevara was killed by the Bolivian army. He was 39 years old. His death shocked the world. Some cried while others saw him as a threat. Even in death, Che became a powerful symbol. Many saw him as a hero who gave his life for the poor. His image became famous all over the world, especially the photo of him in a black beret. His writings and ideas continued to inspire people. He believed in justice, sacrifice, and fighting for what is right. Che's life became a legend. For many, he is a symbol of courage and hope. For others, he remains a controversial figure. Che Guevara believed that true change needed action, not just words. He thought that revolutions were necessary to break systems of injustice. He believed in sharing wealth, giving land to the poor, and fighting against imperialism. He thought that rich countries often harmed poor ones. Che also believed in hard work and personal sacrifice. He lived simply and gave up comfort to serve others. He was strict but passionate about fairness. His writings, like the Motorcycle Diaries and Guerrilla Warfare, still teach people about his ideas. Many young people read them and feel inspired. Today, Che Guevara is remembered in many ways. His face is on posters, shirts, and flags. People around the world still talk about his life and mission. In Cuba, he is honored as a national hero. A large statue stands in Santa Clara where he won a major battle. His image is also on Cuban money. Many people see him as a fighter for the poor, while others think he was too extreme. Still, his message about justice and change remains strong. Che's life teaches us about courage, belief, and standing up for the weak. His story is not just history, it still touches people's hearts today.